Good evening, book lovers. Welcome to another edition of Cath-Lit Live. I am your host, Amy Cattapan. You can find me everywhere on social media under my pen name, AJ Cattapan. If you're new to Cath-Lit Live, what I do is I bring you interviews with Catholic authors who have new books that have just released or are about to release, so that you can find out about the latest and greatest in both Catholic fiction and nonfiction. Tonight, I have a repeat guest coming back to actually talk with you about an anthology that she participated in. She has a number of books of her own, so you may already know her name. We're going to be talking tonight with Amanda Lauer. An avid reader since childhood, award-winning author and journalist, Amanda Lauer is the creator of the Heaven Intended Civil War series. A World Such as Heaven Intended won the 2016 Calla Award, and A Freedom Such as Heaven Intended earned the 2022 Catholic Media Book Awards, first place for Catholic novels inspirational. In addition, Lauer has written 2 time travel novels, Anything But Groovy and Royal and Ancient. And today we're going to be talking about Ashes, Visible and Invisible. This is a follow-up to Treasures, Visible and Invisible, her second anthology written with fellow Catholic teen book authors. So please help me welcome to the show, Amanda Lauer. Hi, Amanda, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Well, it's great to have you back on. Last time we were talking about one of your own books. I think we were talking about Anything But Groovy the last time you were on. And today you're here to talk about an anthology that you're participating in. Actually, this is your second anthology with Catholic Teen Books, right?
Yes, it is. This is actually the 4th for them in total, but my second time participating.
Okay, so this is Ashes, Visible and Invisible, obviously Lenten themed with the ashes. So tell us more about it. What is this anthology about?
Okay, well, I'm actually going to give you the words from one of our reviewers because he wrote it so well. I couldn't do it better myself. So Stephen McAvoy, who reads hundreds of books per year and reviews hundreds of books, this is what he said about it. This is the 4th anthology from the authors at the Catholic Teen Books Collective. Each has been a great read. This Lenten volume is also, to be honest, my favorite of the 4 now. Each story was remarkable. This is a collection of 10 faith-filled stories by 10 great authors. Many of the contributors to this collection in their own way imitate Christ and are master storytellers in our own generation. For fans of any of the authors in this collection, you need to pick this book up and read their contributions. For readers who love remarkable stories, this collection is for you also. And if you want some great reads that are clean Catholic fiction, this is the book for you. This anthology is amazing. So yeah, he summed it up right there. And as a matter of fact, I've read all the anthologies, and this is my favorite as well, too.
Yeah, Stephen's great. He reviews so many Catholic books. He's a great resource for anybody who's looking for Catholic fiction in particular, but I think he does some nonfiction as well, because he reads a lot.
More than any person I know, to tell you the truth.
I kind of don't know how he gets through them all and writes all these beautiful reviews as well.
I know, right?
Well, for somebody who might not know CatholicTeenBooks.com and that whole group, can you explain what Catholic Teen Books is?
Yeah, so basically it's a group of 16 Catholic authors who write books for teens. And of course, we write some other things as well. But we write in various genres, various times, various centuries. Some people write, medieval times or the times of Christ. Some write in modern day. And we have, all the way up to dystopia and dystopian type stories, or like Jurassic Park. I guess that might be in that same genre, or science fiction. And so this book altogether is 10 of us who write, like I said, in all different genres. So it's just a collection. You go from like a story set during Christ to modern day, all the way up to how many hundreds of years in the future. So each of us has our own style. They're unique, but we're all trying to write really wonderful literature for teenagers.
Why Lent? I know there was like a kind of a St. Patrick themed one anthology at one point, right? And there's been like a Christmas themed one. So was Lent just like the next liturgical season, or what else was behind choosing that?
Yeah. Well, I think they just want teens to better appreciate this time of year. I mean, it's such a beautiful time of year. And so many times when kids, even adults, think of Lent, they think it's that time to give up chocolate, and that's how they view it. But we wanted to give kids a way to look at Lent a little differently and look into it deeper and be inspired by the stories of teens throughout time, how the things they encountered during Lent and how they handled them and how they became better versions of themselves throughout the Lenten season in their season of life.
And it's not always overtly like, it's not like everyone's getting an Ash Wednesday story, right?
No.
Because it's Ash is visible and invisible. So it's kind of like the overt plus also the kind of hidden ways that we encounter Lent, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of them, it's just vaguely kind of have a feeling it's set in Lent. Some are very distinctly Lent stories. They take place, during Easter or as Lent starts. Mine in particular, is definitely set during Lent because it's set in the 1690s, and it's a time travel. So this young girl from America gets struck by lightning, wakes up in Scotland in 1691, and when it comes time for Lent, she's like, "How much more can I possibly give up? I've given up everything, and I can't seem to get out of this." But she does discover a way to make Lent more meaningful for her that year, and by helping somebody who really needed her help. So
nice. All right. Thank you. I like having that little taste of an example because I think that helps people get a sense of what kind of stories might be in there and the variety that's available. So what advice would you have for teens about engaging in Lent this year? We're almost 2 weeks into it now. Sometimes people have already kind of given up. What encouragement would you give them, and how might this book help them with their Lenten practice?
Yeah, well, every day is a new beginning. Even if things haven't gone so well so far this Lent, you can start all over today. I think the stories in here would be encouraging and would give kids ideas of different things to do for Lent other than the traditional giving up. But it's your time, you treasure your talent. God has given us all of those things, and you can do something different than you think, whether it's reaching out to help somebody or like in one of the stories, somebody's encouraged to sign up for a donation, not like a blood donation, but I don't want to get into the whole thing, give the whole thing away, but it's something that they were afraid to do and found the courage to do it, and it made their Lent better. So yeah, I think if kids haven't figured out what to do yet, pick up the book. You can read. There's all sorts of good ideas. Even if things happened hundreds of years ago, it's still applicable in this day and age. As hard as that is to believe, it is true.
Yeah. So where can people find out more about Ashes as well as the rest of your books? Where would you send people?
Well, first of all, to CatholicTeenBooks.com. That's where we have a compilation of all sorts of books, because every one of these authors has written numerous books. So I couldn't even tell you how many books are listed on there. And of course, Amazon would have them. And then for my stuff, you can actually go to AmandaLauer.com, and you can see all sorts of interviews, see all my book collections, because I generally write books for teens, but teens and adults and beyond. So you can see my whole collection, because I write Civil War stories, I write war stories from ancient times, and all sorts of things, and the time travel. I have a new time travel coming out later this year too.
Yes. Okay. Well, we'll have to have you come back when I know you've got a couple of things in the works. So coming down the pipeline, we'll have you come back on.
Yep, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right. Great. All right. Well, thank you, Amanda. It's always good to talk with you.
Oh, you too, Amy. You take care.
You too. All right. We're going to wave goodbye to Amanda and bye. All right. So full disclosure, my books are on CatholicTeenBooks.com. My novels for young readers, you'll find them there. You won't find my books for teachers on CatholicTeenBooks.com, but it is a great resource for teachers when I'm giving talks at Catholic education conferences and such. And, people go, well, where do we find good fiction for our students? I'm like, hey, head on over to CatholicTeenBooks.com. It's got stuff for really as young as about 4th grade and up through high school. So go ahead and check out CatholicTeenBooks.com. And of course, check out Amanda's website. Leave us some comments if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, especially if you've already read Ashes. It has been out for a few weeks now. And I'm happy that I could get Amanda in here. So if you're still looking for a good Lenten read, adults can read it too, or, buy for a teen that you love. In the meantime, I'm going to just remind you to like and subscribe, and wish you happy reading, everybody.